Hey guys, Magic here. So, found a spot to be. Sorry for the background noise, but I promise it's a lot quieter than where I was first at trying to do this. Alright, so today's card was Fragmentation. This card gives me some kind of darker vibes, but also kind of like beauty inside the darkness. And kind of like a warning to not become too cold unless we lose ourselves. So let's look at what it says. So for this card, the moon phase is the waxing crescent. The stage is anchor. When rage is projected inward, destruction joins confusion and we break. Now see, this hits a little home for me because I was always taught to avoid my anger. I was always taught to keep all my emotions inside. And by doing so, I tend to cause myself a lot of inward frustration. I cause myself a lot of inward confusion. I constantly feel like I'm on a verge, like I'm fixing to break. I always say I feel like I'm just one step away from breaking. Inside my mind, I have a visual where I'm standing on this cliff edge and all the ground behind me is falling behind and there's only this abyss around me and these butterflies are trying to land. That if one of them lands, I'm going to fall. So I can't let them land. And it can be really self-destructive and can make me be self-destructive and cause me to have outbursts that I shouldn't be having. It can cause all sorts of chaos in my life and it is very destructive. And I do feel like keeping everything inside is starting to break me, so maybe I need to find a better outlet. Or some way to get out the feelings rather than push them down. What about you? How do you apply that to your life? What are you keeping inside? What are you turning inward that is causing you problems? So now let's talk about the picture. What seems to be a cold iron coat rack is topped by a broken stone statue of a fairy, visible only from the chest up. Some roses are at her breast, a crack cuts her face and her body. A jewel is on her forehead, a silvery insect wing stands at her back. Crescent golden slice of the moon is like a halo behind her head. It is possible to glimpse suspended in the void also the hands of the stone fairy. The sentence says, losing a sense of self is a crescendo of noise, a decrescendo of pain, and a prelude to nothingness. So what that means to me is that like, there's a lot of noise or busyness in my life. I'm constantly going. I never have time to pause. Like even now making this video, the one time I have to do it, which is why you find me out in random places instead of inside of my room or somewhere quiet, is because the only time I have to do this is whenever my youngest is in ABA and my oldest is in school. Now sometimes when we get home from ABA, there's a small chance he might take a nap, and provided I don't accidentally fall asleep, I have that window, but I don't always get that guarantee, so now is my best chance. So I try to take that chance because this is when I have it. So there's all this noise and busyness, and that causes me a lot of pain and stress and frustration because I never have time to decompress. I never have time for myself because I'm always going. I'm always either doing this for my youngest because he has autism and going to ABA and doing the therapies and doing all the things. And when I'm not doing things for my youngest, I'm doing things for my oldest son, who has sensory problems and needs help with homework and is struggling in reading and spelling. When I'm not doing that, I'm either it's doing schoolwork, I am working on this channel, I am working on my online business, or I'm writing a book, or I'm at work. There is like literally no downtime. And I take time to play with the kids. I need to find time to paint with my oldest son again, but unfortunately that would require me not to have my youngest one with me because he doesn't understand that paints go on the paper and not on the floor. So there's just a lot of busyness and noise, and it's causing a lot of strain and stress and frustration and pain because it's been causing me to have my episodes in my life, and it's making me feel kind of empty, like there's nothing important anymore, like nothing matters. So in what ways is your life too busy or too noisy? In what ways could you help quiet it to maybe ease some of the discomfort that you feel as a result of that? Or have you even noticed any discomfort from the noise or busyness in your life? Being too busy causes burnout and other things. Are you experiencing burnout? Okay. Going dark. If I were to cut off my legs, would I still be me? If I were to carve out my heart, would I still be me? If my flesh would turn to stone, if my lungs were emptied of air, if my dreams to fly were to be forced in chains and hanged out like an expired balloon, would I still be me? I fought and lost, broken beyond recognition, not by the shallow sight of bystanders who can pity but who can't understand. I cannot even recognize myself through the sobs, through the tears, and when silence finally comes, through the empty motions and the conventional smiles. Who did this to me? I did. Maybe. Maybe not. What is broken can be mended. Not so that it returns to whole, but at least until it tells us his name anew, my name. And who will do that to me? I will. Okay, so what this says to me is that there is a I have been spent too long feeling sorry for myself, so to speak. Like, I know that I'm always like, I'm strong, I got this, I'm badass, but a lot of time I just feel kind of bad about my past. I don't feel like I've moved forward, and I need to work on that. I need to work on my healing and moving forward, because I've been stayed stuck long enough, and I need to accept the fact that yes, this shit happened, and yes, I can't control what they did, and yes, it is their fault for their own actions, but I need to own up to my actions that got me there and kept me there. Because in the end, I made choices that put me there. I made the choices that kept me there. And yeah, some of those choices were made because I felt like I needed to make them to survive at the time, and that's fine. I still need to accept that and forgive myself for that. And I also need to accept that there were some things that I couldn't control, like their behaviors. So in the end, until I can do that, I'm not going to move forward, and I need to do that. I need to retake back control of my life, because in the end, my healing is up to me. They're not going to care if I get better or not. No one else is going to care. I care. And so therefore, I need to take charge of my life, my healing, my feelings, my actions, and move forward. And as for naming anew, I was thinking about, it brought up for me in my tech support job. The reason why I started going by magic was because I have social anxiety, and talking on the phone makes it worse. So I thought if I went by my character in my story, who is a badass and confrontational and confident and willing to stand up for herself and what she believes in, that I could do my job better. So I started going by her name. And it worked. I was more confident. I was still me. I was still super nice and sweet and compassionate, just like she is. But while I may not have been very confrontational, I was confident. And I was able to stand up for myself a little bit more, but in my own way. The problem is that now I've started going by magic, because I thought that it would continue. But over time, as I got used to it, I found myself falling back into my old habits, into my Candace habits, the broken habits that I had. And it's kind of blended the two. So I think I need to step more into who I want to be, my new identity. Now, I don't need to be as confrontational or as aggressive as my character, my stories is, but I can be more confident, and I can stand up for myself and for what I believe in, and still hold on to this loving, compassionate self that I want to hold on to. And in that way, the two can become merged, and I can still be magic. I can still step into being magic while still holding on to the parts of Candace that I still love and cherish. So what about you guys? In what ways have you made the choices to get you where you are at, or to get you stuck? And what choices can you make to get yourself out? Can you take responsibility for those decisions? Are you able to take responsibility for them? Are you able to see your part in this? Because if you're the problem, you're also the solution. You got yourself here, you can get yourself out. There's always a way. Sometimes we just gotta look for it. So what can you do today to move in the right direction? What can you do to name yourself anew? To start being who you want to be instead of the broken version that you've become. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. Remember, love always wins, and I love you. Have a good day. Bye.